true world-class athlete.
British Virgin Islands, just a handful of competitors, some 40 islands annexed by the British back in 1642, that's the history. Joe Chapman, the squash player, carrying the flag, and again in that group of nations that has yet to win a medal at the Games.
And again, I'm keeping saying this, but they've got Tahisha Harrigan, who's got a great chance. Your athletics will provide lots of opportunities, particularly the Caribbean nations.
The tiny country of Brunei Darussalam, small population but a very lavish standard of living thanks to huge reserves of oil and gas. No medals on their slate either yet. Ampuan Ahad, one of the bowls team, is the flag bearer. Cameroon has been a member of the Commonwealth since 1995, taken 9 golds, all of them in weightlifting.
That's Hugo Mamba, born in France, but triple jumps for Cameroon. He's getting close to the 17-metre mark, and of course no Philip Sado, who decided not to come from England. And again, that's a pretty wide open competition, so you never know. Hugo might just be taking a medal home.
Well, indeed. Not long to go before we see the first of the home nations, England. Just a few minutes before that.
Canada.
But Canada first. Canada's hockey star, Ken Pereira, is the flag bearer, his 4th Commonwealth Games.
I think Ken was so proud to be chosen. His parents were born in India. He was born in Canada, and he said it's a very proud day for him and his family. And good luck, Ken. He says, I want to promote hockey off the ice. Well, you know, back home in Canada, I'm afraid ice hockey does take precedence, but good luck with that one, Ken.
He's been getting a lot of press here in India, obviously because of his ethnicity. A lot of good press, actually.
Canadians, of course, a very, very proud record. Hosted first Games back in 1930. They've hosted the Games 4 times, and they have a remarkable record of achievement.
You know, everyone always assumes, of course, with funding that's around for athletes these days, and not all of the sports. And I saw an article, Ken Pereira was saying how he's been selling Canada jerseys off the success of the Winter Olympics, of course, in Vancouver, to fund the trip for the hockey team to actually make it here to Delhi.
"17 athletes competing, small contingent from the Cayman Islands, led by the swimmer Sean Fraser. Their only medals so far in the Games are bronze in the men's high jump back in 2002.
And now, all the way from the South Pacific, Cook Islands.
A real taste of the South Pacific. The exotic look. Mata Kanivale is the bowls player, competing in her 3rd game. She's the flag bearer. There she is. They have 30 athletes competing in 6 sports. Cook Islands have yet to win a medal.
Of course, for a lot of the Pacific Islands, Rugby Sevens has become a great addition to the Commonwealth Games. And eventually, of course, we'll be into the Olympic Games as well.
Cyprus are on their way in. Just a couple to go before the English team arrives at the stadium. Irodotos Georgalas is the flag bearer, a gymnast. Cyprus's best ever performance 4 years ago when they took 6 medals, 3 of them in shooting.
Please welcome into the stadium, Dominica.
Another of these small contingents, Dominica, former British colony which gained its independence back in 1978. They'll be hoping too for their first medal. Brendan Williams from the athletics team is the flag bearer.
स्वागत करें हमारे अगले मेहमान देश इंग्लैंड का.
Well, that big cheer, you may have heard it, and you can see the flag there on the aerostat. The England team, one of the biggest contingents here, of course, and being warmly welcomed by this huge crowd in the Narrows Stadium. Nathan Robertson, he said this will be one of the proudest days of my sporting career. Our star badminton player will be going in the mixed doubles here with a new partner, of course, no Gail Ems anymore. Fran Walworth will be with him, but, waving the flag very, very proudly. And it's good to see so many of the English team turning out.
The England team, which took 166 medals in Manchester, including 54 golds. And as we established at the start of this programme today, second only to Australia in the all-time medals table.
Most of the hockey team out there, men and women's, they'll be hoping to do well. The hockey's are going to be a big tournament, of course, here at the Commonwealth Games. Big, strong nations, India and Pakistan and Australia, and England will be hoping to do well. Not to mention the rugby sevens as well.
So the big England contingent representing the 363 athletes are well on their way now into this Nehru Stadium in Delhi, followed by the Falkland Islands. And in comparison, very, very small and modest team led by Douglas Clark, the badminton player. Falklands, of course, comprising of as many as 700 islands in the South Atlantic. They've not granted any medals yet in their history of participation.
And Doug's had a go at a few. He's had a go at the badminton. He's a good footballer as well. He's actually at Northumbria University now, Doug. And he's had a go at everything in his life, bricklaying. And he says, I just want to win a match for the Falkland Islands. That's all we can.
Who can blame him? Ghana are on the way in. If people at home are wondering where Fiji is, which should be here, Fiji not here because it was suspended from the Commonwealth back in 2009 because of a lack of progress towards democracy. So no Fiji. Ghana's here, first country in colonial Africa to gain independence. Took 2 golds in 2006 in the long jump and the weightlifting. And they've got a really vivid, exotic and splendid outfit for these opening ceremonies.
Costume, it's great. It looks just like a sari, almost.
Gibraltar, population of just 31,000. Been at 13 games since 1958 in Cardiff. They'll be hoping for their first medal here.
That's Colin Bensadon, who'll be taking part in the swimming. His 3rd Commonwealth Games.
देवी और सचिन स्वागत करें ग्रेनाडा का.
Grenada, the most southerly of the Windward Islands in the Eastern Caribbean. Their first medal in the Games in 2006. Imrod Bartholomew, one of the boxing team, is the flag bearer.
Well, they won that medal in 2006 in the men's 400. Alain Francique, great runner. And following in his footsteps, Cremony James might just have a chance in the same event this time round. Well, I was in Guernsey recently, Hugh, and if anyone doesn't understand the importance of the Commonwealth Games to our Channel Islands, and of course we'll have Jersey coming up, we'll have the Isle of Man as well, not to mention Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland. This is a massive, massive competition for them. Let's wish them well.
Peter Jory, competing in the full bore shooting. It's his 3rd Games. By the way, his brother Adam is also in the team. He won a gold back in 1990, Guernsey, in the rapid fire pistol shooting. Guyana are now on their way into the stadium. Guyana, one of South America's poorest economies. They fielded the team here very proudly. Cleveland Ford is the flag bearer. Just won a single medal in 16 years of competing. A gold, however, it was a gold in the women's 400 metres back in 2002.
Please welcome into the stadium, Isle of Man.
Well, I mentioned the Isle of Man a couple of moments ago. It's a pity because they'd come here with high hopes, particularly in cycling. Mark Cavendish, of course, one of the big world stars on the roads. Not here, unfortunately. It was a bit of a late decision. And they also had two of their gymnasts, unfortunately, got injured in training here in Delhi. Unfortunately, not able to take part. But nonetheless, they've got one or two, well, outside chances of medals, perhaps. And they got one of the youngest competitors from the home countries, young Aileen George, has taken part in the archery. She's just 14 years of age. What an experience this must be.
The Jamaican team in bright yellow, led by Simone Forbes, one of the netball players. Jamaica's won medals in all of the games it's entered. Of course, responsible for one very notable absence this year, Steve.
Well, no Usain Bolt, and unfortunately not even Asafa Powell, who ran so well in Melbourne 2006. A lot of their big stars missing. And just to give you a strength, or an idea of their strength and depth, particularly in track and field, Lerone Clark, you won't have heard of him. He could well win the 100 metres, and he's probably about their 5th or 6th. He probably wouldn't normally get in their relay team. They'll still be good in track and field, though, no doubt about that.
It's been a big disappointment to Indians as well. That definitely would have been a crowd draw, Usain Bolt.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next is Jersey.
The athletes from Jersey, led by Karina Bisson, member of the bowls team. And Karina is appearing in her 5th games, which is quite an achievement.
And here we have Kenya now. This is a country that gained independence back in 1963. And coming in with their flag is Ezekiel Kemboi Cheboy.
Well, Ezekiel Kemboi, one of the big stars of world athletics in the steeplechase. He's the Olympic champion, world champion. He's a big, big name for their team. They haven't brought all of their stars here, but they will be tough to beat as ever in the distance events. One or two of them certainly will be arriving late. They said they're going to fly in only a day or two before their events, like Sir Vivian Chariot, one of the favourites to win the 5,000 metres. And, well, of course, Kenya, such a rich heritage in the Commonwealth Games. Great names like Kip Keino and Ben Jipcho, Henry Rono.
And a lot of these West African countries, of course, have strong links and ties to India. Many Indians living there. And I think Indians will obviously be watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Kiribati.
Led by David Katuatu, a weightlifter, formerly the Gilbert Islands. Granted independence back in 1979. We're talking here about 33 islands forming this nation, spread across a vast area of 2,500 miles. They've never won a medal at the Games, but they can't be faulted for enthusiasm and goodwill.
They might not have won a medal, but I'd take one of their T-shirts. They're fun.
Lesotho, a landlocked kingdom, another landlocked kingdom in southern Africa. We mentioned Botswana earlier. Magnificent national dress, Selwan Saweli.